All right, guys. This is just a little bit of an update for the channel and what's going on with me personally. But I don't know if you guys heard, but once again, well, you guys know I'm a nurse at Kaiser Permanente. I did reveal that, and we did call, well, not we did, but the union, the alliance, called a strike against Kaiser Permanente. And so as of January 26th, we walk out and go on the line and picket. And I don't know what to say in that. We are fighting for some rights. We are fighting for patient care, patient safety. We are fighting for our benefits, because some of our benefits are being taken away, and also our pay. Basically, we want to make it to where we're kind of with the other nurses around the area at their pay rate. So we're kind of like behind, because it's really expensive to live here in California. If you guys didn't know, we're just getting taxed the hell out of everything. Gas tax, there's a mileage tax, then they're trying to tax the rich, but the rich are like moving out of California, and so if there's nobody to tax, who are they going to tax? Yeah, you guessed it. What they call the middle class. So, we're just trying to get a fair wage, safety for the patients, because, if you are a Kaiser member, trying to get an appointment with your doctor, or the long waits with, the ER or urgent care, it's just unbearable sometimes. And then when you want to make an appointment with your doctor, it's not like next week or anything like that. It could be next month, maybe the next 2 months. You never know. So we're just trying to get everything for you guys as members, Kaiser members, and for the staff. So, yeah, I will be going on the picket line again, and I'll probably film a few things. Now, am I going to go on the picket line every day? Not every day, but I'll pick and choose what days I go and stuff like that, and how long I go out for. The main thing is, to kind of support the alliance, the union is, not going to work and stuff. So by doing this, and we're doing everything in a legal manner and stuff, our jobs are protected, our benefits are protected, nothing's going to get taken away, because we are doing this legally. And believe it or not, the union does discuss things with lawyers and stuff like that, labor law lawyers, to see what we can and cannot do. So we do follow the law according to that. But all we're trying to do is to get Kaiser back to the table, to bargain with us, to make a deal, and get things going so we can get a contract. Our contract expired September 30th of 2025. So yes, we have been working, we have been waiting, and we're working on an expired contract. So now, Kaiser has not gone back to the table for like over a month now. We've been waiting, and now we called a strike. So we'll be out on the line. So what does that mean for me and the channel? Well, opportunity. I will be able to go to some of the theme parks and some areas that I've been wanting to go to, and we'll be able to do that during the week. And like seeing what Knott's Berry Farm is like again, not on a weekend, because that's the only time I could go, is like on the weekend. But now I get to do that again. Some Disneyland and stuff. And with Disneyland, I don't know if I'm going to renew my Magic Key, because, well, the one I have to get, because it has the most weekends, is the top tier, and that's almost like $2,000 a year. You know, when you look at some of the other theme parks, where you look at Universal, Six Flags, you know, Knott's Berry Farm and Six Flags are together. So basically, if you buy a pass, let's say at Knott's Berry Farm, and then you do the all parks, then that pass will cover all the parks, will cover parking, especially if you get the prestige one. And if you don't, you can pay a little bit extra. I think it's like $85 to $90 for the year for parking. You don't get preferred parking. That's only through the prestige. But when you get the prestige, I mean, you could do it either way. You can go through Six Flags Magic Mountain to get your prestige pass. I forgot what I think it's called, the prestige membership, and also the prestige pass through Knott's Berry Farm. You just do the all parks, and then you can go to all the Six Flags parks across the nation, and that includes Knott's Berry Farm, because they're part of Six Flags now. And you can also get a pass to Universal Studios. Okay, you can get their top tier. I think their top tier is like $500-600. You know, that includes a pass to Halloween Horror Nights. You know, every year you get one, probably all you need, and it still doesn't come up to the price of Disneyland. I'm just saying. So I'm just thinking, you know, whether or not I want to keep it or not. Maybe because I will be on strike when my pass comes up for renewal, I might have to do month to month, because then it won't hurt as much as if I just do the full 2,000. But I really don't like making payments, especially if, you know, I get 3 strikes against me and then I have to wait 60 days to go, and then I'm still making a payment. Make it make sense to me. So I just like to purchase it outright, but sometimes you just can't do it. You know, it's just too much. I think if they raise the prices up again, I think that's it for Disney. I won't be able to do it, because it's just, you know, I work Monday through Friday. I can take days off, but then I got to take a day off to work to go to Disneyland. You know, I know it's no big deal, but still, you know, how often is that going to happen? And then when I do take time off, am I going to be able to make reservations if I get one of the lower tier tickets? I kind of doubt it. But that's what that means. I'll probably be able to do some other stuff. I do want to kind of change up what I do at the theme parks. I want to like change it up a little bit on how I approach things. As far as food reviews goes, I have to slow down on those. I can't do like mukbang types anymore. I just can't fit anything in. It's just, you know, I'm getting older. I'm not as mobile as I used to be. You know, I went from going to home health, where I'm just running around to people's homes, walking around with a big bag, getting up, you know, doing squats all the time, getting back up, doing all these things. I was actually really physical with home health. And now that I'm in a clinic setting, I'm not that physical anymore. Basically just sit at my desk and call patients all day. Every once in a while I'll get up to tend to blood pressure or do a foot exam, maybe an IV. That's about it. There's no real physicality to it. So, you know what I'm saying? So I just can't fit the amount of food I used to fit into my belly like I used to. I mean, God, I used to be able to eat a whole pizza and just, you know, walk it off. But, you know, now it's more like I have a slice, maybe 2, and then I'm done. So it'll be interesting on how I handle the Lunar New Year, which is next week. I can't make opening day. I couldn't get the day off from work, so I'll be going on Saturday. And, you know, maybe the Crash Zero might join me. Maybe he won't. I'm not sure. You know, he's got a lot of things going on his plate as well. You know, but here we are. You know, we're going to go ahead and do some more things. I got some cons lined up. I got to see if I can register for WonderCon, and with that registration, I think they might have opened up tickets for the San Diego Comic-Con. But there's I remember what it is, Midsummer Scream. Okay, so Midsummer Scream, they haven't opened up tickets yet, but they are for when you go to Creep IE Con. They're going to open up tickets, and it's going to be a limited number. So I'd recommend, if you do go and you want to go to Midsummer Scream and get their first tier, you're probably going to have to hit that booth first. So it's just a matter of like going in and finding that booth, standing in line. You know there's going to be a line to get tickets there. I'm going to try to do it to get tickets. If not, I'm going to have to wait till, when they go on sale to the public. Should I have revealed that? Why not? You guys look for information. Why not give you the information? I know some people might get mad, but I understand that some of the tickets to Creep IE might be sold out. That's why it always pays to get in early and get those tickets, but you also have to make sure that you can make it too, or else it's just a waste of money. I'm guilty of that all the time. But I will be going there in a couple weeks and showing you guys that. I think a lot of us are going. I know David's going. I don't think Josh is going. I'm not sure about Crash, and I think SoCal Tall Guy will be going to Creep IE Con. So it's going to be their 5th anniversary there. So, they got everything laid out. Like all the guests, Lost Boys. I think that's the one that's supposed to have Battlestar Galactica, maybe? I might be wrong. That might be Comic-Con Revolution. A lot of guests are going to be there. So Back to the Future, a lot of people going there, but should be fun. So I'm going to try to record all that and try to get that out the next day, because then right after that is Pasadena Comic-Con, which I'll be attending as well. So I got my tickets for that. And then the following weekend is going to be, which one is that one? Let's see, because, oh no, that is Creep IE. This next weekend is the Lunar New Year. And then from the Lunar New Year's, Pasadena Comic-Con, then it's Creep IE Con on the 31st. And then the 1st, I'll be going to Knott's Berry Farm for the Peanut celebration. I can't make opening day for that because of the Creep IE Con. Hey, a lot of these things keep coming together, I tell you. So, but yeah, I'm trying to go to a lot more of these things, try to pay attention to more of what my channel's about, which is a journey. So I'm trying to go to different places, and this strike is going to give me that opportunity to do that. So I am supporting the union by not showing up for work. The sucky part is I really love my management team there at Clinical. I know it sounds weird. How can you like your management? But they've been really nice. You can go up and approach them and talk to them and try to work out things. And, you guys, we both parties are able to work things out. And I love that. It's not like, you walk up and it's like, no, you can't do that. Well, what's the point of asking for days off if you're never going to give it to me? That's the way home health was. You try to ask for days off and you'd never get it. Never. You literally would have to call off and just be an ass. And that's the only way you're going to get those days off. Is you have to call off. Here at least, they'll tell you why. Say, well, we don't have enough staff. Okay, I get it. And that's part of why we're doing, trying to get worked into the contract is to have Kaiser recognize the issue that we have low staff and that we need to get more staff so we can service the people a little bit better and, get that quality of care out there. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And to let you know, that last strike that we have was only for 5 days. This is open-ended, indefinite, meaning we're going to be out there until a contract's signed. So I don't know what kind of deal that's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a couple weeks, could be a couple of months. I know a set of nurses in another union, which is psychiatry. They were out for 7 months. 7 months, and they reached a deal and they got what they wanted. But they had to endure. And we couldn't do anything. We couldn't support them. We couldn't go out there with them. We couldn't do nothing because every time we sign a contract, there's a clause in there that says that we cannot go out and support another union or another walkout or strike. or it'll violate the contract, and we could either be fired or sued. So nothing we can do. And that's the same way with them. They have a contract, they're not going to be able to support us, which is okay. We know this. So I could be in it for the long haul. So, which brings me to another thing. I really didn't want to reveal this at this moment, but I kind of wanted to get things set up and, just kind of just start letting the channels go on their own. But I started 2 other channels. I have them built, or I have them assigned, but I haven't put anything on them yet. So one of them is going to be reviewing gear, just reviewing gear, because I love gear. But for the start, I'll be reviewing gear that I already have, and try to explore some of the things a little bit better. I want to learn photography, so as I'm learning photography, I'm going to go ahead and teach photography on there, and that'll be part of it. And then the other channel that I created is I'm thinking of getting into AI and just do AI shorts, maybe little movies or something like that. And so currently I'm trying to learn AI, and plus I know AI is going to be the future, and that could be another endeavor for me instead of being in the medical field. Because if we're going to go through this every 4 years, I don't want the stress of it. I don't want the stress to see if we're going to get a contract, if they're going to play games. It's just like, this is like my livelihood. I just want to work, earn my living, pay my bills, pay my rent, and then the days I'm not working, just enjoy and do filming, because I love filming. I love doing these things. I know I haven't produced much of anything, but it's just I just got this barrier that I need to get by, and I'm still working on that. I just have to focus and basically not watch everybody's videos, but I get caught up in it just like everybody else. But that's just me. So, but that's what I'm looking at, and this is what I want to do for my channel. And I know just adding more channels is going to add more work to me, but I have to separate these things because I don't want to start putting it on this channel, because I don't want to confuse everybody, like, hey, what is he doing, what is this? So in order to avoid the confusion, to do stuff that I like to do, which one is review gear, and 2 is play with AI. And so 2 other channels are there. I'm not going to reveal what they are, because I don't want you to try to search them out or anything. When I start posting, I do want them to be their own entity, do their own thing, get their own views and stuff like that. I just want to have it all on its own, and when they are on their own, I'll go ahead and reveal what I've been doing. That way, if you guys want to watch it, you can. So, but yeah, those are my plans for this year, and I'm going to implement them. So I've got to get in my mind, I need to focus and just go ahead and do it. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Stop worrying about what everybody else's videos are. Stop worrying about new videos coming out from other people that I don't know. I will watch my friends, okay, to support them, and I will just go ahead and do that. But I will not stray off to watch other people's videos unless I'm using it as a learning tool, like learning AI or learning about photography. Because I think I want to say there is a lack of space about how to do photography. I know there's channels and videos out there for it, but they haven't really come up on my dashboard, and I haven't really sought them out. But slowly it's starting to trickle in, but it's not like anybody's really teaching anything. And if they have, maybe they did it a long time ago. I don't know, but I want to do that. I want to start with the basics. There's some acronyms out there that I don't even know. I want to look it up, and I want to implement it into my channel as a teaching tool, so everybody knows. It's just like, when you know how to use something and everything's explained to you, you have more of a desire to do that, instead of when you hear that phrase, if you know, you know. Okay, so what is it? What is it that I don't know? What is it that you know that I don't know? So it gets a little frustrating when people say that, because it's kind of like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So I just ignore the fact that when someone says, if you know, you know, then I kind of just ignore it, just like, well, problem is if you can't explain it, do you really know? That's what I want to do. I just want to explain things, and I just don't want to use that phrase, if you know, you know, because to me that's frustrating. Because what if I want to go into an area that I'm not familiar with, but it seems exciting? Let's say taxidermy, and it's just like, so, you know, when you ask the question, so when you do it like that, how come you don't do it like this? Well, if you know, you know. If you don't know, then you don't do it. But why? And when you get like answers like that, knowledge is being lost. That's the way I look at it. It's like, I can read a text, and every time I see RN on there, I keep thinking, registered nurse? No, it just means right now. We're starting to lose our ability to keep knowledge, and I think if we can go ahead and continue writing out long form. I know it takes a while. I know you guys want to shorten things up because you don't have time. Fine, do whatever you want to do, but I just don't want to lose that art of knowing what it is, because I'll see some weird acronyms, I'll just stare at it and go, what are you talking about? You know, just like medical terms. People are using medical terms that aren't supposed to be there. They're not, I can't remember the term, but they're not like, they're just making up their own. And it's like, but what is that? That can mean almost anything. You can't put that in a legal document because no one's going to understand what it means, because we have like a whole list of acronyms or short terms that we can use that we have to follow. And when we stray, now we're like, what are you talking about? Because if this goes into a court of law, if you can't explain what that acronym is and why you weren't using whatever is approved on the list, that case is going to get thrown out. That's how detailed you need to be. You need to explain things. So a lot of times I'll just write it out unless I know for sure it's on that list. If not, I write it out. So, but that's becoming a lost art. I'm going way off track here, but you know, you guys know what I mean. It's like, I just want to start from the beginning, the basics, teach photography, you know, when to change your ISO, when to, you know, change your aperture setting, when to do the shutter speed, you know, what's the benefit between shutter speed and shutter angle, stuff like that. And that way it'll help you learn photography, and that way your eye can see what the camera's seeing without having a camera up to your face. And that's going to be the idea behind teaching that. So, you know, it's just a lot of work. Plus, I have to say, because of the strike and playing with my livelihood, and also, you know, I have to get a flu shot every year, or I have to wear a mask for several months while I work. I can't wear the mask anymore because of, you know, what happened. Well, we always had to wear a mask, and then I can't do it anymore. Can't breathe. I don't get anxiety or panic attacks or anything, but I just can't breathe, and I need to breathe. I need to breathe the fresh air. Okay, I just don't like wearing the mask unless I have to. And if it's only for like maybe an hour, I'm okay with it. But we're talking 8 hours all day that I have to wear the mask because I didn't get a flu shot. That personally, I don't think it does anything. But, you know, you can't, you know, just because I believe that doesn't mean that you do. So that's all I'm saying. You know, I'm not trying to convince you not to take it. I'm trying to say that I don't believe in it, and I don't push it on anybody. You know, I do ask if they want the flu shot. If they do, sure, I give it to them. You know, if they ask my opinion, then that's different. I kind of go, they see by my face, they go, okay, I get it. And then they saw maybe next time. All right. But all right, guys. Well, I just wanted to give you a little bit of what's going on. I didn't mean it to be past 24 minutes, which is what the count up is. I want to say countdown. It's not counting down. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know I'm going to be on strike because the union and the Kaiser Permanente couldn't come to an agreement to get us a contract. We've been working on an expired contract for months, and now it's serious now. We're on an indefinite strike, so we don't know when it's going to end. And so I'm going to take advantage of it and try to do as much as I can. And there might be a time when I might not be able to go out because, you know, the price of gas is too much, and I just won't have enough money to do that because I still have to pay my rent, still have to buy food, still have to pay the utilities. So it's going to have to be pick and choose. So just letting you guys know, but not that it's going to be any different because I really haven't posted much. But I will. That's one of my goals this year, is to, everywhere I go, is to post the video at least 1 to 2 days after I go, and that way you guys get to see at least something that's current instead of something that's been there, you know, just sitting in my hard drive for like months, maybe even years. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Really love you guys watching my videos, making comments, liking the videos. I really appreciate that. But until the next time, I take you to another wicked place. Lunar New Year, that's the next one. Have a good night.